So in the last video, we talked about the difference between a Trax and a Trailblazer at the entry-level model. Both were LSs. So now we're gonna go up to the top. Right over here on my left, we have the 2RS in a Chevrolet Trax and an RS when it comes down to the Chevrolet Trailblazer. So what's the major difference? Well, this one's nitro yellow. We're done. Now again, similarities from the previous video. You get a little bit different of a styling when it comes down to the Trax. This one sits a little lower, so you can tell your headlamps are going to be moved into your bumper over here. Both applications get the dark ice chrome, and the RS in all Chevrolets get the black bow ties. Over here on the Trailblazer, you can see again the headlight housings move down into the bumper. You get your daytime running lamps that are going to be up here, and again you get this split grille black bow tie that's all been kind of blacked out between the two. So styling wise is a little bit different. Now, I should have known this, eh? I need my cheat sheet. Now, size-wise between the two, you can see the Trailblazer is a taller SUV. It's about 83 millimeters taller, and I'll talk a little bit about that, how it reflects into your interior space. And being an SUV, also, you get about 18 millimeters more of ground clearance on the Trailblazer compared to what you're gonna get over here on the Trax. Now, when you're looking at these two wheels, both are 19-inch aluminum wheels. Both are with the RS, where you're gonna get these high polished aluminum and these black accents, stylized a little different in between the two cars, but they still look super awesome riding on with these ones. And under the hood, we have some changes as well. The Trax only comes with a 1.2 liter, 3-cylinder turbo, where on the Trailblazer, like I said, 90% of our customers choose and want the all-wheel drive, so you're gonna get a Trailblazer that comes with a 1.3 liter turbo. Power-wise, you get 137 horsepower and 164 pound-feet of torque. The 1.3 gets 155 horsepower and 174 pound of torque. So you get the bigger motor, gets more horsepower. You get 9-speed automatic versus 6-speed automatic. On paper, the smaller motor with the Trax is gonna get you better fuel economy, but as with all Chevrolet's SUVs, you have the all-wheel drive disconnect, so you can turn off the rear axle, drive around front-wheel drive, save money on fuel. Now, everybody wants cargo carrying capacity with their SUV, and the two of them are slightly different. On the Trax, like I said before, it's got a longer wheelbase, a little bit longer overall, so from your total capacity, you get about 9 liters more of storage space here with those second row seats folded up. Compared to what you're gonna get with a Trailblazer, it's not as deep, but it's definitely a little bit taller. One thing that the Trailblazer does offer, as an example, is the subfloor. Not only does it go up, and you can see you get a little bit more of a carpeted insulation underneath with your tools set off to the side, but this subfloor is actually can move down. So you get about an extra 2 inches of depth, 2 or 3 inches of depth, so it can create a little bit more of a height to your roof. Now, let's talk about with the seats folded down. Because of this extra height, this is where you're gonna get an extra 8 liters of cargo carrying capacity up to your front row. Compared to what you're gonna get over here on the Trax, this cargo shade can be popped out, the strings can be removed, so you do get a little bit more of some uninterrupted cargo space. But the Trailblazer has one little trick that the Trax does not have to offer. So the Trailblazer has this, the front seat's gonna fold flat, so you can see you have this extra space. So from your tailgate when it's closed to your dashboard up here, you have 8 feet to carry something long, like an area rug, like a cargo, like some 2x4s, like a ladder, whatever you need. Now mechanically, underneath, you get a different suspension setup between the two SUVs. The Trax has your traditional compression crank shocks, where on the Trailblazer, it goes with what Chevrolet calls the Watts link, or known as the Z link. What that does is just give you a little more lateral stability, better leveling when you're cornering, something that they've done with other RS models in the past. And one more thing that people like to talk about when they're using their SUVs is the availability of a power liftgate. The Trailblazer has that option. It's right here on its key fob. The Trax, unfortunately, or what keeps the price down a little bit, you get Armstrong. Now, when we're on the inside of the Trax, the 2RS, like any other RS in the Chevrolet lineup, you get a lot of these little red accents that comes in through the design, some contrast stitching that will come into the seats as well. Now, the difference between an LS and an RS is not just alphabetical. Being the RS is the top trim level, you get this 11-inch infotainment system running with the Google built-in. So you do get your quick menu over here. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard equipment. And over here in the center, you get a fully digital driver information center, unlike the analog gauges that we've seen in the LS Trax. As with the LS, you still get your charging points when it's a USB or a USB-C, plus a 12 volt that come in through here. This particular model was not ordered with the sunroof, so it doesn't have the wireless charging, but it is available on a 2RS package. And the other standard safety equipment is your usuals: forward collision alert, pedestrian detection, low speed automatic braking and what have you. The additionals that you get with the 2RS is the driver confidence package, like blind zone alert, rear cross traffic alert, lane change alert, and rear park assist, all matched up to take care of the radar sensors behind you. Now, on the inside of the Trailblazer, the RS kind of steps up that theme with the red accents, a little bit more of your decorative trim along the side, plus, material textures and, some styles are evident. Plus, they add a little bit more on the decorative aspect as far as door trim, stuff like that. Now, aside from the style, mechanically, a lot of things feel similar. You get your automatic climate control, you get your heated seats, you get your heated steering wheel. 11-inch infotainment system, that's similar between both the Trailblazer and the Trax. Driver information center, again, similar between the Trailblazer and the Trax. The difference that you get with a Trailblazer is the availability of the Bose sound system. So that could be a +1 for the Trailblazer, absolutely. The other thing that you'll notice is how much sunshine's coming in. Now, I said the RS didn't have a sunroof, but the Trailblazer has the availability of the panoramic roof. So not only do you have one pane of glass, but your back passengers will also get that sunshine skylight feel as well. And also, one of the availabilities is your wireless charging for your cell phone. If it's compatible, it's just your well right in through here. If you ordered the sunroof with the Trax, as I said, you will get the wireless charger package. Now, price-wise, again, we already know that the Trax has a lower starting point compared to the Trailblazer. So when you keep that scale going all the way up through the lineup, it's pretty evident that the Trailblazer will cost a little bit more money. As it stands, when you're looking at just your entry-level pricing, you're about $30,200 when it comes down to the 2RS. The Trailblazer is about $34,399. But again, all-wheel drive is about $2,500 extra when you get into that price point on a Trailblazer. Plus, you have to look at the availability of power seats, which are here on a Trailblazer, Bose sound system, better suspension, and the panoramic roof. A lot of the things could sway. Why do you pay so much more for a Trailblazer? The evidence is in the details.